Hoffman. She is from Pfizer. She is representative of the Sickle Cell Patient Affairs Liaison. And Jennifer is here today from upstate New York. She traveled the roads and the highways to get here, and we're happy to have you. I want to tell you just a minute about Pfizer. Pfizer has been one of our partners for at least the last year for 2024. They have been a financial contributor to our organization. They're the sponsors of this event this evening, paying for everything. We're happy to be a part of them, with them, and them to be with us. We've had at least 4 events last year that they were a part of. 2 in particular that I wanted to recognize and acknowledge. The one was the Young Professionals of Color event that we were sponsors of that event with Young Professionals of Color, and they helped to pay towards that event as well as other organizations. But right now, this is about Pfizer, and I need to stay on track. I can start rambling. I apologize, but that event. That they were part of awareness, and we had a table that was set up. We also did an event as a part of the Sickle Cell Month, which was in September in particular. It was an event before the Black Legislative Caucus. There was a breakfast event that Pfizer helped out with and supported us. We had speakers such as Ronald Johnson there, patients. We had legislators who were there to listen in, to hear about sickle cell and testimonies coming out of the council themselves, experiences related to sickle cell. We also had the president of Pfizer. I'm getting this, I'm going off script here again, but it was either the president or vice president, and this is where my mind's, I'm retired now, what can I say? But was also at that event. We had at least 5 or 6 representatives from Pfizer at that event. It was awesome. The Legislative Black Caucus was impressed, took things from that as well to move forward. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to Jennifer Hoffman. Please join us and share with us a few words. Oh, I think we're going to do a slide presentation first.
Hey there. I'm here to tell you about sickle cell disease, an illness that affects over 100,000 people right here in the United States and millions more around the world. The first thing you need to know is that you can't catch sickle cell. It's caused by a genetic change that is passed down from your parents. If a mom and dad both have that changed gene, then their child has a chance of being born with sickle cell disease. Now, let's talk about what sickle cell can do to your body. These are red blood cells. More specifically, these are healthy red blood cells. These little guys are what carry oxygen all around your body to places that need it, like your heart, your brain, and your lungs. See how round these red blood cells are? That shape and the fact that they're super flexible allows them to move through the body without any holdups. That's good. People who live with sickle cell disease do have healthy round red blood cells, but they also have abnormal red blood cells that look like this, a little different and not as round. See that? It kind of looks like a banana, or what they call sickle shape. So, the big question is, why do some red blood cells sickle? It starts with something called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the part of the red blood cell that carries oxygen. People with sickle cell have a type of hemoglobin that doesn't carry oxygen as well. After sickled hemoglobin releases oxygen, it clumps together in a stiff rod inside the red blood cell. This causes the red blood cell to become sickled, or banana-shaped. That whole process is called polymerization and is what changes the shape of the red blood cell. Sickled red blood cells are very fragile. This causes them to break down more easily than healthy red blood cells. Picture a jelly donut exploding. Everything is released from the red blood cell, and the entire thing breaks apart. This is called hemolysis. Because the sickled cells break down, there are less and less red blood cells in the body to carry oxygen. When there are too few red blood cells carrying oxygen, it can lead to something called anemia, which can make people weak and tired. This breakdown of red blood cells can damage the cells lining the blood vessels, causing them to constrict or narrow. This is called endothelial dysfunction, and it can lead to an increased immune response called inflammation, which is very painful. When those sickled red blood cells break down, one of the things that is released is a substance called bilirubin. Too much bilirubin can cause the eyes and skin to turn yellow, which is called jaundice. And since sickled red cells are stiff and sticky and don't move freely, they can pile up and block blood flow inside your blood vessels. It's like a traffic jam and can keep the healthy red blood cells carrying oxygen from getting where they need to go. When those banana-shaped red blood cells get stuck in the tiny blood vessels, it can also cause a lot of pain. In the joints and bones, in the chest and stomach, it's called a pain crisis, or an even bigger word, vaso-occlusion. VOCs for short. A pain crisis can last a few hours. It can last days. And it can be so bad that a person with sickle cell may even need to go to the hospital. All of this, the red blood cells bursting, the low number of healthy cells, and the traffic jams in the blood vessels means that less oxygen is delivered to the body, and that can do a lot of damage to important parts of the body, like the bones, organs, and tissues. They all need oxygen to do their jobs and keep you feeling your best. So now you know what sickle cell is and what happens in the body when cells sickle. Sickling happens every day. The traffic jams, the lack of oxygen, they cause damage even when there isn't any pain. That's why people living with sickle cell are warriors. Some of the strongest, most courageous people walking on planet Earth today. They want to live their best lives, and I'm here to cheer them on.
Sickle Cell Speaks is sponsored by Pfizer.
Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed Will. My name is Jennifer Hoffman. As was graciously introduced, I'm with Pfizer in their Patient Affairs Liaison. We affectionately like to call ourselves PALs, and I love it because I want to be a PAL to the sickle cell community. So to sort of dovetail off with something that Carla said, I was blessed to get into this position in only July of last year. And when I looked at the job description and what I was going to be doing, I said, oh God, this is where you want me to be. And I have been so fulfilled in the amount of gratitude that I have for what I get to do every day, which is work with people like you, to come to organizations like this, to supply the information that Pfizer has for this community. So being a patient affairs liaison allows me to speak with patients, caregivers, the community organizations. We are non-sales, non-marketing, non-promotional. So there is no connection between a patient affairs liaison and the sales team. So I encourage each one of you to come back, see our table. We have Sickle Cell Speaks, which is what you just watched. This is just one resource that we have. This video is on YouTube, so it's available to all of you if you ever wanted to use it to educate somebody new that doesn't know what sickle cell, somebody in a school, somebody in a community. It's available to you. We have a QR code in the back that you can just scan. It takes you right to it, or you can just simply go on YouTube and look it up that way. We also have something that's called Together for Rare. It's another platform like Sickle Cell Speaks, but Together for Rare covers all of our rare diseases. So we have 6 different rare diseases that Pfizer works with. I work specifically in sickle cell disease. We do offer scholarships. Our scholarships are for sickle cell disease patients and for hemophilia patients. When it comes to sickle cell, anyone who is a senior or in a dedicated collegiate program 2-year, 4-year, undergrad, or graduate can apply for the scholarship. We give out 30 scholarships each year, and the applications are due by May of 25, and we give the scholarships out in August of 25. That information is also on the back table. So again, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for all that you do for this community, for your community, and for welcoming me in. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That was wonderful. The presentation was awesome. It's very makes me very emotional. And just the awareness of individuals who are struggling with sickle cell. So thank you for that presentation.